how would you describe, like, if you talk about like the mission of the commons stack, what is like a long-term mission, a medium mission, like, and then the short-term, what are you gonna do to tackle this?
Jeff, you want to take long-term?
Yeah, sure. So in the long term, we'd love to see a common stack component library take shape, and this is basically an open token engineering library of various crypto economic components. Some of them primitives. They could be governance tools, funding tools, initialization tools, and basically we're trying to create an easy way that we can integrate complexity and the engineering process into building these crypto economic networks. So ideally, anyone could come along and take, a bonding curve and a governance mechanism that is appropriate for their system. Maybe that's conviction voting, maybe something different. Combine them, simulate them holistically in CAD, and launch a token network that meets their design specifications.
Yeah, in the long run, we hope that there's a bunch of people who have put a lot of tools in the toolkit, and that the Common Stack has kind of taken a librarian role of just making sure all the pieces fit together and they're in the right place and everyone can access them. In the medium term, we're trying to produce what we call a minimum viable commons. Basically a commons that has a fully fleshed out incentive layer, a really interoperable proposal engine, a solid governance layer that's designed from first principles, and a monitoring layer with all the high-tech tools that we can throw in with machine learning and AI predictive modeling on how well the system is running. So a minimum viable commons will be a fully complete commons that will be out of the box, ready to deploy, and easy to use by any kind of project, not just high-tech projects. It's our first solution for the funding layer is the Augmented Bonding Curve. Then we're going to have a Giveth proposal engine so that the commons can interoperate with outside donors. Then we're going to use conviction voting as well as just normal DAO governance on the governance layer. And then we have what we call the Commons Analytics Dashboard, which will be a mix of impact assessment on how well the commons is actually providing value to the public good, as well as integration with CAD, so that you can actually monitor how well the crypto system is functioning, and if, according to past data, if it's in danger of failing. Oh, what's first principles? I'll let Zargam jump in on what first principles are.
Oh boy. Okay. So first principles is basically when, instead of mimicking patterns that you've seen in the past, you examine the sort of reasoning and justification for those decisions. This is far more effective when you're dealing with novel spaces, because patterns don't match very well. You get a scenario where the best solution is very context dependent. And in some ways, you can think about it as digging down one level or two into the problem you're solving and understanding how and why decisions are made, rather than simply sort of looking at other decisions that have been made for similar problems. Very common in engineering, we build bridges or we build roads from the first principles of roads and bridges, rather than saying, okay, where are the plans from that other road or that other bridge, and how do I adapt them? So it's a slightly different frame. It's almost bottom up, which I think people should appreciate in this space.
Yeah, there's actually a really good video by Elon Musk, of all people, just like explaining first principles. That's where it first clicked for me, honestly. There was just a short 2-minute video where Elon explains that he uses first principles, which is funny. Oh, but now I think the next one is our short-term plan, like our first commons. Do you want to take it or do you want me to?
You go right ahead if you got some steam.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man, I got coffee running through my veins. So, we're going to launch what we call the Token Engineering Commons. It's going to be our first effort to build a field test commons. It's going to be scoped very small. The goal is actually to initiate the modeling of crypto economic systems. There really hasn't been anyone that has pushed open source modeling tools out into the world except for Zargam. So we're very lucky to be working with block science on building that. But the modeling is always going to be tough. Like starting out, someone has to bite the bullet and make the first models. So for our commons, that's going to we chose the token engineering commons to be the guys to really like trailblaze this whole ecosystem forward, because they are the ones with the best expertise on figuring out how to improve this system. So if we get all the token engineers together and we build a commons for them, then they will want it to succeed. So now they have skin in the game to improve the system and make it work for all of us. Z, do you have anything you want to add on that?
I want to add that the really important part of this decision was that we have a community that's collaborating with us. So we talk a lot about the commons in the context of people talk about the physical aspects or the technical aspects, like what's being managed and maintained. But the people who make it up are a critical component of that commons, the community. And in the token engineering sense, there's a really rich community that's been emerging, people that are not, common stack team members or block science team members, just token engineering researchers, having meetups, doing designs, sharing best practices, discussing what the first principles are. And it's actually through that community that we were sort of motivated to use this as our first case. So it affects our ability to do this. So there's a lot of positive feedback between our work and their work, but it's actually a distinct community that we are collaborating with as part of our essentially user research to understand what a community needs in the form of infrastructure to actually have a common collaborative sort of development effort, research effort.
And of course, we want to make sure people know how to use MetaMask and the different tooling that we expect people to have to use, and not be hung up on trying to help, more of a classical nonprofit that the experts that we'd want to onboard may not be familiar with a lot of the blockchain UX issues, let's say.